Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Dr. T with Sustain Your Biz Academy. What is going on? Y'all are like, why is Dr. T on at 10:43 p.m.? Long day, but I wanted to come on here because there's some important information that I wanted to give to you guys. I know that it is Cyber Monday and y'all are on here looking at the great deals that are going on. But I also wanted to let you know that you have to be careful with some of those deals, right? And be careful with what you're doing as entrepreneurs coming on. So that's what we're going to talk about today. With Sustain Your Biz Academy, this is what I love to do. I love to coach, I love to give advice, and I want you to learn so, so, so much more. So I want you to go to the academy right now. I want you to click on that link. No, not right now. Wait till I finish. Wait till I finish. Click on the link, and then we'll go over how we can help you as sharp, sexy sisters, right? So today was a long day, work, then I had class, and I usually post that I'm in school or studying. So, but I wanted to come on and talk about what I posted earlier about um, are you making sure that you're giving a product that your consumers want? Because we're going into this Cyber Monday, what exactly are you giving to your people, and how are you selling that? So, as an entrepreneur, you want to be sure that you're solving problems, that you're giving them solutions to problems. That's it. It's really, really easy. So, for example, our Sharp Sexy Sisters conference. It's free. It's for entrepreneurs that are trying to get in. However, we also have the all access pass where we're giving you a great deal so that you can take this where you can and learn about the skills that our um, leaders are doing in the community and how we can empower you to do better as an entrepreneur, right? So the other part or the other piece of that is, sometimes with everything that we're doing right now, we are overwhelmed. It is the end of the year. It's a drive, it's a push to get to the final thing of the end of the year. And what is that thing? Our money, right? So we're pushing to get that bag. But I don't want you to push so hard where you're getting distracted or you're getting discouraged, right? Because sometimes we can do that. I know, for example, I'm getting hit left and right with different, promotional things, buy this, buy that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tapped out. I'm really tapped out, and I'm tapped out in a way that it's not that I don't have the money for it. It's just that it's an overload. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, how to absorb things you read and how to absorb things that you're learning. I know at the academy, what we do is we give you little nuggets of things so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So, how many books, how many tapes, how many seminars have you gone to so far with since COVID or before COVID, right? How many have you taken over the years? And how many of them, right, can you point to increased your resources for your profit margins? Not just knowledge, but your profit in your business. How many of them helped you to increase your profit? I'm talking about books, tapes, seminars, any courses you may have taken. Have they helped you increase? So there are too many people who read and read and read and read, and they never do anything with it. They never apply it, right? Or nothing ever comes out of it. Are you that person? Are you that person that's constantly reading and you're like, I want to learn, or maybe taking courses, putting it out there, and you don't ever use it? Okay. So one of the reasons why this is because we don't learn that way. Yes, it's important to read. Trust me, I'm in school now. It's important to read, and we'll go over that, right? However, I'm of the mindset that you also have to put some power into that. You have to do, right? You have to put things in place. So, for example, you wouldn't learn how to ride a bike by just reading, would you? No, you got to get on that bike, right? You got to get on it. You got to do it. So, even when we had to study something in school, right? Um, we didn't just read the history book once. We didn't read it just once. We had to keep doing it over and over and over. So this is what I'm saying. Don't get overwhelmed when you're pushing or inviting people. I don't want to say push. When you're inviting people to purchase your product, it's Cyber Monday. It's everything coming at the end, and you want those sales. Yes, but make sure that those sales are inviting people to help them realize that you're solving a problem, you're making a difference in their lives. And that's why I posed the question earlier, is your product helping others or is the product helping you with your profit? And I get it. Trust me, I'm not negating that. But it will be better if your product is helping others. All right. And you have to show value of how it's helping others. For example, yes, I researched for the last 3 years of this particular ingredient that I wanted in an eye care product. I needed to test it. I needed to read more about it and I need to put it out there. And I finally did. But that took time, right? So this is why. Hear me out. So we can now look at chapter after chapter, verse after verse, however you want to say it, right? You you want to look at it and you want to reflect on what it means that you're reading. So, what does it mean? Who can you discuss it with? And in case who do you need to work with in testing it? I had to test my product out, right? So, and then we applied our knowledge and we demonstrated our knowledge in school when we took a test. All right. So, whatever happened to going back to that, whatever happened going to learning after, even if you're reading, applying what you learned, do you want to change the way you learn and make every information product you buy more valuable? Or do you want to make everything that you create more valuable to the person that you want to purchase from you? So, number one, sleep on it. I've been telling you about sleep for the longest. Everybody asks me, Dr. T, how do you do it? I sleep. I get my sleep in now. During COVID, I didn't get much sleep because of I'm worrying, but now I'm like I got it under control. I've learned, I've gained everything that I wanted to gain through COVID, you know, and now I want to apply it. Right now we're applying it, but now I'm sleeping more. I'm sleeping more. I'm saying, listen, this can wait till tomorrow. Right. So, and then it's also not a fact of waiting, right? Sleep has a huge role in your memory. It's the time period where our brain decides which information is valuable and which one needs to be observed or stored into for the next day. So you don't want to, as you're reading, as you're absorbing, you don't want so much where you're overloaded, right? And so if you read something once and forget about it, your brain learns to filter it out, right? That means that you can't act on or take advantage of what you've already learned. So I know a lot of people are pushing their product for you to read or their books for you to get or to take their class. I get it. I'm not saying not to do it, but what I am saying is to just be careful of not getting enough rest and you don't want to be overwhelmed. Okay? You don't want to be overwhelmed. And then that's also why it's important to limit the amount of information you get and keep yourself from overloading. The less information you try to take in, the less you will confuse your brain about what's important. So, this is why, even now, I'm kind of using tools that are going to help my mind focus on the daily things that I need to do. Because with this whole shifting with the business, I have to like carb put things into departments or carb or what they said um, putting in departments or putting in components that I can now take and grab from it, right? Um, then little accidents. So number two, it's almost like riding a bike. I always go back to that analogy. When you're riding that bike, you're gonna fall, right? So if you're learning and you're doing, you'll gain insight on when you make those mistakes, especially if you're in an environment where you're getting those feedbacks, you're getting positive feedbacks, you're getting negative feedbacks. That's both good. So the more you allow yourself to do, right, the more that you'll be able to adjust the quality of each small task. This is what I want you to get. Is this adding value to you today? So grab what you want, sit on it, learn it, figure out how to implement it, and do it. For example, I was trying to figure out how to get this online shop and wanting to house it in one place. It took a little time figuring it piece by piece, and now it's here. So you want to be sure that you are taking it one step at a time to making sure that you're not overloaded. Okay? It's okay. Right? And then once you're processing it, as you're processing it, it's okay if you make a mistake. I'll give you an example with this vaccine that's coming up, right? I'm pretty sure that they've tried and tried and tried over again until they have a product that we can use. So that's why I asked you earlier today, is your product going to help others or is it more for you to gain into your pocket? You need to be able to marry the two. Okay, you need to be able to marry the two. And conversely, imagine when we talk about reading, imagine reading an entire book in a day. How are you going to act on everything that you learn? That's painstaking. You're not going to be able to do that, right? It's much tougher to dig out what your weak areas are and improve on them versus take what you know how to do, and then improve on that. So then the other thing, the last one is empower of suspense. So when you're reading a book, you want to read chapter by chapter. I'm the type of person where if it's not grasping me the first time around, then I'm not going to get into that book. However, lately I've been saying, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to read this book. And so I'll read and I'll say, I'm going to read it and I'm just going to let it sit. So it's too tempting to think that we can learn new skills by reading a book. But chances are, new skills will take a long time to implement. So even as you're reading, even as you're learning, even as you're growing, even as you're shifting, that shift is going to take a long time to implement. You don't want to think that it's going to happen overnight. And I get it. You're worried about it. You're worried about your business. You're worried about where it's going to go. You're trying to figure it all out. You're grabbing at every article. You're grabbing at every live, and including the lives, right? That's absorbing information, right? So what's more likely is that you will read a book very quickly, you'll drain all the suspense out of it, right? And then you get hungry for new solutions when you haven't even figured out the solution already for yourself. So you're trying to gain more and more answers when you just need to fix the answer that's right there before you that you already read, right? So you want to be careful about absorbing all this information that's pushing out for you because I know it's Cyber Monday, I know it's, Black Friday and everybody's trying to do that, right? So now you're like because you're reading so much and you're grabbing everything and you're absorbing everything, right? You're considered a voracious reader. You're just grabbing everything and trying to absorb everything. That can be bad, right? So I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to take things slowly. So I'll even admit, like, people are texting me, people are inboxing me, get my book, get this. I get it. And don't think that I'm saying no because, you know, I'm saying no. For number one, I'm tapped out. Number two, I'm tapped out physically. Number three, I'm tapped out because I can't put any more up here because I'm trying to pour out into you guys. Right. So take things slow. Developing skills take time. Okay. Sleep on what you've learned and then act on it. Don't let it sit too long, but then act on it. And then that's the way to get lasting results over everything that you're reading. So I get it. You got this book, you got that book, you're watching lives, you're taking videos, you're going on YouTube, you're doing all that you can to make this shift toward the end of the month, end of the year, and trying to figure it out. What are you going to do in 2021? I get it. But I want you to take the time to sleep on it, right? Work it out, fix the kinks, okay? And then let it be the power of suspense on where you're going to go with it, you know? And then that's it. So I want you to make sure that you're doing everything that you can possibly have. Because why? I'm providing you with sustainable solutions to your business. And then we want you to really, really think about how you're empowering yourself in this time. How are you putting your business forward? How are you putting your life forward? And how are you going to marry the two? And you definitely want to make sure that all the information that you're getting, that you're able to house it somewhere and still grow from it. Okay. So remember those tips. This is your girl, Dr. TLD, with Sustain Your Biz Solutions. I want you to win in this season. What does winning mean? Welcoming in the new you, investing in yourself, and never ever give up on you. If you're watching this on a replay, put hashtag replay. I will see you guys tomorrow with Girl Talk. Bye bye.